Hello all, in this video we will see how the Quilter tool, the AI tool works, and basically the Quilter tool is for auto routing a PCB, and for this you need a schematic ready, and then your board outline to be drawn, and your placement, required placement to be done. So these are the three important things that are required for this tool, and it will help you to route the PCB. Okay, so let us see how it is performing. So here, this is the home page for starting your project, and this has a free version as well. You can try few things, but you can also request a demo from Quilter as well. So if you see here, there are three things here. One says upload and upload your unplaced board file and schematics. So that means you should have your schematics, you should have your board file, basic board file with outline and components placed, and you should have your project file. And you can see it supports Altium, Allegro, Expedition, and KiCad. Okay, and it says define your board outline, pre-place sensitive components. Okay, and then once you give all this, it asks you few constraints, and then you have to give those constraints, and then some of your requirements, and it auto routes, and then you can actually review, and you can also check against a few of your points, and then you can give feedback and do the process again. So this is done in Quilter. Now let us see how to do it. So here you have something called new layout job. Let's click on it, which enables us to do a layout. So the first thing what it says is critical steps which you need to remember. Pre-place any components that should have a fixed position. That means if you want to have your microcontroller at the center, place it. If you want your USB connector at some part of the edge of the board, you place that. And then any of the other components which you don't feel critical, you can leave those components outside the board outline. So when we import the schematic, we see all the components outside the board, right? Your required must to have placement can be done, and others can be left out. Okay, and then create keepouts and placement regions to define your intent. This is very important. Without this, it cannot understand what keepouts you need on the board and any specific placement regions. That is not possible. So that means this has to be defined in the tool which you are using, whether you are using Allegro or Altium or KiCad, whatever. Okay. Now there are several scripts as well for this that we'll talk later. And then now click browse files. Okay, click on browse files and upload your files. So as we mentioned, we need the project file, KiCad project file, and you can see once this is done, it says what is required: missing board file, missing schematic. Okay, again you can browse, you can give the kicad underscore PCB file, it is saying missing schematic, and you can give your schematic as well. So these are the three things, and then you're all set. So on the right bottom you'll have something called upload files. Okay, you might not be seeing in this window. So there is upload files option at the bottom right corner here. Okay, so click on upload files, it starts uploading the files. It takes a little time to upload those files depending on your file size, and you can see here it also gives some warnings. Impedance calculations are in beta for custom stack-up. This board has a custom, so we actually imported a 2-layer board which has copper on both the layers, and basically what it is saying is you need to have a proper impedance calculation, and if you are having any custom stack-ups, you need to give the input to it. And then no ground layer is detected in custom stack-up. So whatever the stack-up that is present in the KiCad file, that project that we imported, right, there wasn't any ground layer mentioned. So if at all you want to consider this tool as a ground layer, this tool to consider one of the layer as ground, you have to name it as ground or GND for that particular layer. So that means the AI tools have specific requirements, and you actually have to give those inputs, else it can do whatever it want. Okay. Now, next, it says components already placed, existing ports will be deleted, yes, and it has done it took the board, it took the size, number of components, components to place 0 because already we gave a file which already has a placement, and pins to root is 60, pin density is 12.88. Beautiful. We have a view of what to be done on the PCB, and then click on continue. And here you can see the next step is the stack up. It is showing your stack up as well, whereas you have top copper, bottom copper, and the dielectric, and you have a solder mask layer on top, and these are all coming from your project file. You verify these whether they are imported properly or not. We wanted to have 1.6 mm PCB, so this is the stack up, and then continue. Once you say continue, it goes to fabricator constraints. So fabricator constraints are basically the trace to trace distance, or whatever your via constraints, what is the board margin that is required. All these basically should be imported from your ECAD tool. That means you have to already give the constraints in your ECAD tool, and then you have to import. Okay, and then continue. Here you have more of your circuit level inputs that need to be given. If you have any differential analysis, you can actually add those by clicking on add row and give what is the impedance, what is the single-ended impedance, what frequency you are going to operate, and you can give those things. You can give you can also give any specific constraints for single-ended signals. For power signals, it took maximum current of 0.5 amps. In case if you want to power pour, okay, you click on that so that it pours the 3.3 volt plane. Okay, and then you can also add net class, add by net class, and other things. So the primary one is ground, and it also got to know what are the it is trying to get to know what are your switching connectors, so that the EMI EMC related constraints can be considered by the tool. The beauty of Quilter tool is the heading itself says AI led PCB generation using physics laws. So that it actually it says that it considers all the EMI/EMC rules and any generic rules which are to be followed for a PCB. And then when you come down, it says bypass capacitors and which pin is bypassed and what is the value. Everything is clear. You can verify once with the schematic, and it asks if there are any crystal oscillators, because displacement and routing is very important. So you have to give them by clicking on adding or a row, or if you have the specific format, you can import directly. Now after verifying all your electrical inputs, click on continue on the bottom side, and then just review your constraints once. Okay, and then continue, and you have your board name and the same inputs that are provided, and all your constraints or inputs that you have given are listed here, and also a board preview of your imported file, and then you click on start job. Okay, now it starts doing its job in the background. We can see how much time it is taking from this timer. And remember that this is a very simple board, a 2-layer board, and any layout engineer can do this board in a day max, or if the inputs you want to collect more, do reviews, max is 2 days. We will see how much time it is going to take for this tool to do that layout. Anyway, all these constraints or whatever are there, a design engineer can sit with the PCB engineer and input these tools, or design engineer himself knows all these, right? So he can import these tools and see how it goes forward. So we'll see how much time it takes. So as we see here, it almost took 6 minutes 50 seconds, and that means near to 7 minutes for this PCB to complete. And once this is done, you will see a download PCB option on the right corner, which is not visible in the screen. So you can see on the right corner there will be a download board, and once you click, you will have the PCB downloaded. Okay, so let us just have a look on how this PCB got routed. So this is the PCB, okay, and let us try to highlight the tracks, okay, and we will see if there are any discrepancies. So the routing, okay, looks okay, and we haven't given any particular width or copper pore for the power. So it just try to route as traces within the given current requirement, and it try to route all the things properly, okay, and this also routed the signals, okay, and might be this is one observation here. We can see that the sensor inputs routed between O4, O2 pads in between the components, and this actually is a power trace which could introduce noise there, and then again there is a 3.3 volt which is very close to the VSW pin, the battery pin. So this could be a issue, but for power it should not be an issue. And then we see several places where the traces were routed between the pads. These are the decoupling pads, decoupling capacitors, where the trace this is actually a net R3, again sense input trace, which actually is routed between the decoupling caps. So not so good. And copper pore and other things look good. The routing looks neat. So looks like there are some of the principles that are not followed, basic electrical principles. Overall, the copper pore, the connectivity, everything looks good. Let us see the bottom side, okay, and even the bottom side, the connectivity is okay. Not sure why. Okay, let us remove all and have tracks, okay, and let us try to show net in RASnet. Okay, and I think some issue with routing this IC definitely looks like it's not routed properly. I don't see a connection here, so this could be one issue. And okay, might be what we will do is we'll try to eliminate the paste here, okay, which will give us much clarity. And the other routing on these look okay, okay, and yes, these are on the other side, okay, and this is also on the other side, so no issues actually. It looks as if it is not routed, okay. So looks like overall it's a decent job except a few things here, but this is a very small board, and it's just a two-layer board with around 20 components and 60 nets, which we have seen, and looks like a decent job, but it could be done better. And the tool, the Quilter tool, claims that this is suitable for small PCBs. The medium to complex PCBs are like not so feasible to do with this tool. That looks one constraint. So overall, tools like Quilter the basic feedback that we can say with this is yes, with small PCBs, we can actually do these AI based routing, but you need to give all the inputs, constraints, everything properly. That means you need to act as a guide for this and enable it to do its job. Okay. That's if you have tried this tool, if you have feedback on this, please post if you have missed anything. Thank you.